Hey y'all. So I decided to take you on my walk that I do. Like I said, with long COVID, one of the things that I'm trying to do is retrain my body to be able to do exercise and not have issues the next day, not have that post exertional fatigue. So uh, I did take some video on my walk, but I wanted to do this portion as just me sitting down and not having a bunch of shaky videos. So, just as an update, I think one of the things I wanted to talk about was the fact that, gosh, this week it's been really rough. I don't know about you, but it seems like just emotionally there's a lot going on. And that's okay. It's one of the things that I decided I would actually put out here onto the internet, that I am struggling with just emotional regulation, I guess is what it's called. Yeah, I've had, or I guess emotional dysregulation. I think that before COVID, I was kind of diplomatic. I was able to keep my cool, maintain my cool in situations that were a little bit challenging. But now, holy cow, things just trigger whatever, the storm, whatever it is. And so this week, it's been really busy. With work, it's been busy, but also there are just things that have been going on in life that I've just hit a wall and have had to sit in it and process it in a way that I never have before. And one of those things was realizing that I needed to make some changes to the way that I live, to my life, and the way that I go about my day to day. One of those things is that I just have to figure out a way to get from behind a computer for 8+ hours a day and spend more time outside breathing fresh air and getting sunshine. So as you can see, I'm taking my walk in the middle of the day today and have started to do that kind of as a practice to help with just getting enough vitamin D and also just regulating my life is what I'm going to call it. And I think one of the things that I found is that there are some bigger changes that I need to make in order to be consistent about this. Some of them pretty big changes that I had not expected to make in this year. So I'll probably chronicle some of that on my channel. One of those things I've been talking about it is van life and spending more time outdoors. So those camping trips and hiking trips, I definitely want to do those and be intentional about them, but also just making some other changes that I wasn't quite prepared to make. Sorry to be vague, but if I were to say more, there are some people that would freak out. And hint, hint. So the other thing that's been happening this week is that I know a lot of people who have COVID and I've managed to stay healthy, thank God. But I know some people who had the kind that's like a cold, the type that people like to talk about. And then some people that had some rough cases that were lingering and they're just starting to get over it. And then I also received word this week that 2 people that I knew from my previous life, I'll call it, when I lived in other places, have passed away from COVID. That's from Omicron. So those definitely threw me for a bit of a loop. Definitely had to sit in the grief of, especially one of them, who was just a dear person. And I know now that she leaves this gaping hole in her family, and that they are really sitting in the loss of that. And so my heart goes out to them. But also I think that definitely stirs up for me, just some of the things that I've been really disappointed about in regards to people's response to COVID and to people who have it, people who have long COVID, people who did not survive, and just realizing that as a society, it's been really disappointing to see the lack of empathy. I would love to see it normalized, that we just don't ask people, were they vaccinated? Did you have pre-existing conditions? Is that why you are struggling with COVID still, or is that why they passed away? Just really sitting in the fact that someone lost their lives, or someone's life was completely disrupted and turned upside down, and people don't know how to fix it. People who have been studying diseases, studying illnesses for a long time, don't know how to fix it. And so I won't jump onto the people that like to make what I believe they think are helpful suggestions about the tiny slice that I have shared, of dealing with long COVID and all of those good things. But just know that it's so much more helpful, for me at least, to just sit in that place of empathy and be like, man, this sucks. What can I do? I think our society has been turned upside down politically and just with everyone and their personal convictions about everything being out in the open for everyone to see, that there's a sincere lack of empathy that's going around, and that's something I would love to see changed. But for me personally, one of the things that I plan to do is really focus on the people who are able to sit in that empathetic space. It's something that I try to do with others and not focus on the other people, just because when I do that, I tend to get really frustrated. Remember, emotional regulation issues. Yeah, so I think that's the entire video. I just wanted to give you an update. Didn't want to skip a week. I hope you enjoyed the snippets of my walk that I did get to share with you. And I am going to close this out with 3 things I'm grateful for. Number 1 is the snow. It's sunny out. It's like 20 something degrees and it's absolutely beautiful. This is my favorite weather. The second thing I would say is cheese. I know that's odd, but I am grateful that I can still eat cheese and it doesn't seem to be causing too much of an issue with the anti-inflammatory diet. And number 3 is just being able to walk. Not everybody post-COVID is able to do that, so I'm grateful. All right, I hope that this was helpful to you in some way, at the very least, knowing that if you are sitting in this space too, that you're not alone. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you feel led to. All right, I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.